will be in the Olympics in 2020 in Tokyo, which is extremely fitting because I believe Japan has a very strong chance in actually winning it. But I'm not here to talk about who I think is going to win or lose. I actually found an article on the Tokyo 2020 Skateboarding Olympics website talking about skateboarding and their debut. And to counterbalance the conversation of sports and skateboarding, I will be street skateboarding today, and that will be interweaved throughout this conversation. There are so many rocks here in the streets, and I just hit one, and it sucked, but this garden is basically a skate park. But it's funny because the article starts off with a short overview of what skateboarding is. Short, narrow board with 2 small wheels attached to the bottom of either end. It's funny that skateboarding can be simplified into just like, that's what it is. But the best part is that the essence of the sport is supreme skills and youthful cool. Obviously. There's gonna be women's and men's, and then there's also street and park. So there's technically 4, I think, total categories. So for the street contest, it sounds pretty straightforward. I think it's gonna be somewhat street league-esque, and it says each competitor performs individually and utilizes each section to demonstrate a range of skills or tricks. Now this is where things get a little subjective. These are the factors that the judges actually take into account. Difficulty of tricks, height, speed, originality, execution, and the composition of moves. Now, I think the reason it took skateboarding so long to catch the eye of the mainstream is because there isn't a real way to conclude winners and losers. And it's really hard to determine what's harder, what's better, what's higher, what's farther, all that stuff. A good example is I have a friend who can grind up handrails, and the judges know that he can do that. So at contests, when he does that, it's actually not as big of a score as it would be for someone who does manual tricks. So that's the subjectivity that plays, and it's impossible to judge. Competitors often slide the deck of their skateboards and grind the trucks, which connect the wheels and bearings at the deck. What? Now listen to this sentence, because it just confused the hell out of me. A common trick is for riders to flip the deck of the skateboard, while the trick that entails the rider revolving while at the same time flipping the deck of the board without using the hands is more complex. My brain, I don't understand. I've been skateboarding for 20 years. I don't understand what you're saying. Now I'm gonna cover the park skating next and what's required for that, but I need to warm up a little bit. It's freezing down here. Skate this little new setup. Person sweating in New York City right now, but park rules. Park competitions take place on a hollowed out course featuring a series of complicated curves, some resembling large dishes and dome-shaped bowls. So that's kind of what vert skating turned into recently as park skating. It's just a lot of parks in the world are built a certain way with just big ramps, and it's not really technically street because it's not the kind of obstacles you would find out in the streets. But vert skating, in a sense, got kind of, I think, old to most people in the world. Even though vert takes a lot of creativity, it takes a lot of balls, it's just kind of hard to identify for people who aren't used to skateboarding. The degree of difficulty can depend on whether the rider grabs the deck of the skateboard with a hand when performing mid-air tricks, which part of the deck is grabbed, which hand is used to grab the deck, and the posture of the rider while grabbing the deck. While speed is an important element, marks are rewarded for the overall level of difficulty and originality. Again, 100% subjective to the individual judging. There is a video online of somebody actually talking about the Olympics, and I'm interested. I think it's someone behind it, I don't know.
A lot of people say that's not what skateboarding is, you can't judge it, it's art. I totally agree with that. I see this as a chance to really share the culture of skateboarding to a much broader audience.
See, that's the hard part. I mean, with sports, seriously, when you think of basketball, of course there is creative expression within such a tight confine of rules, and skateboarding, it would be easier to spread the word of it if there was just an easy way to identify exactly what it is, but that just doesn't exist now. In a sense, skateboarding seems untamed, so anybody who gets into it kind of makes it their own in any way, which I think is a beautiful thing to do. Maybe there should be a facet of skateboarding, maybe it's this, that seems more concrete, that makes it easier for people to identify what it is.
My name's Josh Friedberg. I'm the CEO of USA Skateboarding. I'm responsible for the day-to-day business of USA Skateboarding. I started skateboarding in 1985 in Topeka, Kansas. Ended up getting sponsored by New Deal, edited a couple videos, and then Steve and I came up with the idea for 411 Video Magazine. Got to meet a ton of amazing people, and
this dude created 411? Okay, that's so legit.
So if you want to qualify for the Olympic Games, right now you have to enter World Skate sanctioned events that will give you points towards Olympic qualifying.
The thing with contests though, there is still a select amount of people who can actually get in certain contests. You still have to have someone approve of you, or you have to have certain sponsors that can approve of you, and some of the best skateboarders on earth have neither of those things. So these contests are still missing a giant element. I mean, most skateboarders can't go to these contests because of those elements.
You can earn points at national championships, continental championships, 5-star events, pro tour events, or world championships.
I'm not gonna lie, this already inspires me to build my own kind of contest series that's more online driven. I know I've tried something like this before, but I feel like there's something really cool there, like just easy access, because there is no structure around skateboarding, so why not give a chance to literally everybody in the world to be a part of this? Anyways.
3 people from
only
one
3
country
skaters a country? Niger.
So the US, but there's a max of 20 skaters.
20 skaters total.
Within that, you have to. The format for the street events is what you've seen at the Street League events. It's 2 runs, 5 best trick attempts, and 4 of those total scores count. The format for park is 3 45-second runs, best run counts.
That is interesting because the dude himself undeniably has gone through skateboarding. He did an inward heel 5.0 down a hubba, so he knows what he's talking about when it comes to experience skateboarding and maybe what deserves to be seen and what not. The thing about competition and sports like basketball and football is competition is just a really good story. It's easy for an audience to get behind a certain team and feel like they're included. It adds a contest to a contest for the fans. Supporting your favorite skater is like supporting an artist. You don't really hope that the artist defeats all the other artists. You kind of just want to see him grow and see more of what he creates. It's just not as easy of a story to cling on to. I almost forgot to mention that the iPhone holders that I created for my brand Progress Daily are now available. You can check them out, link in description down below. It's the highest demanded product that I've made so far. But yeah, now I have phone holders, not pop sockets for legal reasons. They're totally just phone holders, but you know, yeah, they're awesome. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't as much skateboarding as I usually try to do, but I'm about to go out of town and I'm really excited. So thank you for tuning in today. And this one was a very personal, like talking a lot about skateboarding. I know that sometimes I go on tangents, but once in a while I like to upload these videos. Human beings! I'll see you every Tuesday and Thursday for a new video. Check out all the links in the description down below if you want to see all the other stuff that I'm up to. And I'm just gonna say from here, New York City, I love you so much. Progress daily and keep killing it!